If you're looking for hearing protection and the best audio performance you can get, then I've got a couple of options for you. I'm an advocate for good hearing protection, and I've made several videos about it over the years. Any hearing protection when riding is better than none, and I personally prefer the benefits that custom molded earplugs bring. I use the Ultimate Ear squidgy earplugs religiously, but if I'm using comms devices, then I have some alternatives. The Sound Ear Pros or the Bluetooth Sound Ears. These offer the ultimate combination of hearing protection and sound quality when riding. Now, of course, you can, and I have used those squidgy earplugs with a comms unit in your helmet, but what I tend to find is that you have to turn the comms volume up to compensate, and that kind of defeats the object of using the plugs in the first place. Wearing custom molded earplugs with internal speaker drivers means that you get all the benefits of the hearing protection, but you also get crystal clear audio, but more importantly, audio that is crystal clear at very low volume. I find that when using these, I can turn the volume of the comms unit down to its lowest level and still hear the instructions or the music as clear as a bell. So let's start with a look at the Sound Ear Pros, because I've been wearing these for a long period of time now, and I think I'm in a good position to give you an honest opinion on them. The plugs offer 31 decibel of hearing protection, but include dual balance drivers built into the main body. As standard, they come fitted with a 3.5mm jack, and you can choose two different lengths of cable. If you prefer, you can choose a 2-part cable, which is what I did. The jack connector can either be straight like this one or at a right angle, or you can indeed request for a USB-C type connector if that's what you need. In use, they fit exactly like the squidgies, although the main body that sits in the contra part of the ear is a little bit denser to help protect the speaker. The sound quality is excellent, particularly with the Pros, because that dual armature driver offers a really nice bass response. As I mentioned, you can keep the volume of your comms or phone level really low. You still get a decent level of ambient noise. You can still hear your bike, you can still hear traffic around you, you can hear emergency vehicle sirens in the distance, all that sort of stuff that you'd expect. You still can do that. Despite what people will tell you, these don't block out all of the noise. They're not completely silent. They're designed to block out the harmful frequencies and get the noise protection to a level where it's safe to ride, but also you are protecting your hearing over the long term. The Sound Ear Pros retail at a price of £289, or you can buy the single driver version for £189. Now, I'll be honest, if you're only using these for instructions from your comms or to talk to your pillion or another rider, then the standard ones are going to be fine. They still sound really good, they just don't have the bass response of the Pros. You notice that more if you listen to music extensively. There's a richer sound to it. But if you don't listen to music frequently, I'd say save yourself £100 and just get the standard version. Now, plugging these into your comms unit is something that I've yet to discuss, and it's not necessarily that straightforward. Obviously, it depends on what communications device you're using. Cardo, for example, I'm pretty sure on all of their devices, they utilize a 3.5mm jack to connect the speakers that are in the helmet. That makes that very simple. You just literally unplug those speakers, plug these wired sound ears into that, job done. Sennheiser are a little bit different. They tend to use a proprietary connector for their headphones and their microphones on their systems. However, I've been using a 50S for quite a few years now, and that's got an additional 3.5mm jack connector in the base of the unit on the helmet, so you can plug these directly into that. You leave everything as it is in the helmet. You don't have to unplug anything internally. You just plug this into the side. That disables the speakers in the helmet, and you utilize the sound ears. It works really well, but sadly it isn't available on all of their systems. I've had a look at the new Sennheiser 60S as well, which hopefully I'll get to review pretty soon. That doesn't have that auxiliary port in the mount, but it does come with a 3.5mm jack adapter in the box. If you're using an integrated comm system from either manufacturer, whether that's things like the SRL 2 or 3 from Shoei or some of the Cardo driven internal units, they tend not to have the capability to use a 3.5mm jack. And that's where the tech guys at Ultimate Ear come to the rescue, because they can amend that comms unit for you so that it has the correct connector. I've got a Shoei GTR 3 helmet and I've got an SRL 3 comms unit to go into that. That means I can only use the speakers in that comms unit. I can't use the wired sound ears. But the guy said, we can do a conversion for you. So I'm going to go away, do that, see what's involved, report on how it works, and I'll bring you that in a separate video at some point in the future. The alternative to that is obviously to use Bluetooth connectivity, and that's where the aptly named Bluetooth sound ears come in. Again, there are 2 versions, the standard and the pro. I've been using the standard ones, and these retail at £239. The pro versions are again £100 dearer at £339, and it's the same difference with the other speakers. These have got a single armature driver, the others have a dual armature and give a better, deeper, richer sound. These utilise Sony Bluetooth modules using the 5.0 Bluetooth protocol, and they can be paired with 2 devices simultaneously. They also offer, of course, 31 decibel of hearing protection as usual. There are simple controls on one of the pods, including a USB charging port, but because of the nature of these controls, I wouldn't recommend trying to use them while you're riding. I found it's much better to get everything set up and working as you want before you commence your journey, and then not touching them. So in essence, these are really a solution for people that just want to connect it to their phone or their Sat Nav device, or for that matter their bike, to get spoken instructions or listen to music. You cannot connect these to an intercom and talk to a pillion or another rider. But of course, this means these don't just have to be for motorcycle use. They make really good everyday Bluetooth earphones. Not only are they really comfortable to wear, but if you're doing high intensity activities, these will stay in your ears. And I know sometimes the AirPods can be problematic, particularly if you're running or moving around quite vigorously. So there's another benefit to having the Bluetooth versions. Now you can also make and receive calls with these, because there is a microphone built into one of these pods. Now it is feasible to do that on the bike as well, but what you have to do is get this particular pod with the controls and the microphone into your helmet somewhere close to your mouth so that the other person can pick up your voice. Can be done. You can find a comfortable position to get it in. It's not ideal, so you can do it at a pinch, but I would suggest these are perfect for those that want to use voice commands from GPS or listen to music or podcasts or whatever it may be. That's really what their intended purpose is. They are incredibly easy to connect. I've had no problems connecting them via Bluetooth, and I think that's down to the Sony element within these, and they have worked faultlessly. Now, I wanted to keep this video relatively brief, but pack in as much information as I could, which hopefully I have done. But if you do have any questions about these products, then let me know in the comment section down below. And that leads me on to mention a deal that the lovely people at Ultimate Ear have put together for the MCN Devitt London Motorcycle Show, which is happening at the Excel Centre between the 14th and the 16th of February this year. You can use my discount codes at the show, so you've got MANCAVE15, and that will save you £15 on your order. If you go over £250, then you can use the code MANCAVE50, and that will save you £50 off of your total price. But alongside that, if you're at the show, you can have your impressions taken for free. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to order your earplugs at the show, but if you are traveling from around the country, it makes it easier to go get your impressions taken, and then at some point in the future, once you decide what earplugs you want to go for, the guys have already got your impressions and they can get that made and sent across to you through the post. So there's a good opportunity to actually save yourself the cost of either finding somebody local that works with the guys to get the impressions taken, or travelling down to their base in Kent to get that done. So I'd highly recommend getting those impressions done at the show, and then you can easily order what you need from home and they'll arrive within a couple of weeks. So if you want the best hearing protection in the industry and get a little bit of a discount when doing it, then go and find the guys' stand if you're at the show. If you can't make the show, then remember that those codes are usable online, but you will have to pay for impressions if you haven't already had them taken. That's it. All that leaves me to say is until next time, thanks for watching. Take care, ride safe, look after your hearing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.